Hello, my name is Ella Brandis, and today I'm going to be talking about the documentary Titan, the Ocean Gate Submersible Disaster. My presentation focuses on how ambition and poor leadership decisions led to the Titan implosion. So, for some background, in June of 2023, the Titan submersible went missing during a dive to the Titanic wreck. It was later discovered that the sub had imploded due to extreme pressure deep underwater. The documentary examines the decisions made by the OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush and shows how multiple engineers and experts warned him about serious safety issues. Instead of listening to those warnings, Rush continued to push forward with deep sea dives. Through interviews and scientific evidence, the film shows that Stockton Rush created a company culture where criticism was discouraged and safety concerns were treated as obstacles. By using both personal testimony and scientific data, the documentary proves that the implosion could have been prevented if these warnings had actually been taken seriously. One of the strongest appeals in the documentary is ethos, which is shown through the testimony of Tony Neeson, OceanGate's former director of engineering. Because Neeson worked directly on the Titan submersible, he had firsthand knowledge of its design and the leadership decisions being made. In his interview, he explains that questioning the project was discouraged and says that, quote, Stockton was annoyed if somebody just questioned the idea of what we're doing. This shows that dissent was not welcomed inside the company, and engineers were also very afraid to speak up about safety concerns. Because this information comes from someone inside the company, the documentary also becomes more credible and persuasive. The documentary also appeals to logos by using scientific data and sound frequency graphs from the carbon fiber hull of the Titan. These graphs show that cracking noises increased over time, especially after the 80th dive, as you can see in the photo on the slide here. This indicates that repeated deep sea pressure slowly weakened the structure of the hull instead of it failing suddenly. And then by using measurable scientific evidence, the film shows a clear cause and effect relationship between repeated dives and then structural failure. This makes the argument more logical and removes emotion from the explanation, focusing instead on physical proof that the disaster was preventable. So, why does this matter? This documentary matters because it shows how leadership decisions can directly affect human lives. It argues that the implosion was not caused by bad luck, but by internal failures and unsafe leadership choices. Through Tony Neeson's testimony and scientific data, the film proves that this tragedy could have been prevented if safety concerns had been taken seriously. The Titan disaster teaches one clear lesson. Exploration must always be paired with responsibility, and progress should never come at the cost of human life. All right, thank you for listening to my presentation, and then here are my references.